Hi, I'm Reich, CEO of TeachU. At TeachU, we offer business startup and development services. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our startup services. At TeachU, we provide startup advice that saves entrepreneurs thousands, hundreds of thousands in some cases, of dollars and increases the chances of success in their new business. You see, most new businesses fail, but yours doesn't have to. If you're buying a business, there's a 99.99% chance the seller is asking way too much. We can properly value a business for you. The reason that I can say that 99.99% of the time the seller is asking too much is once you've built a business, you tend to overvalue that baby. And always things like goodwill, the name, the equipment, everything has more value to the person that's put their blood into it than the person buying it. So they always invariably tend to overvalue a business, and sometimes way too much. And we can help with that. But that's enough about us. I want to tell you some real stories about real people who started or wanted to start a business. Of course, I've changed the names to protect their confidentiality. And the pictures aren't real either. But the stories are true, and they're about real people. Let's start with Sarah and Robert Gonzalez. They had an idea, and they wanted me to help them raise some venture capital to get their idea and their business off the ground. So they were going to use their retirement savings and then raise some extra money and launch this big thing. It was going to be a national venture. As we talked about their idea, some red flags came up for me. I just knew their business wasn't going to work. Not because of brilliant intuition, not because I'm some sort of business genius. I use business models to test ideas. And as I ran their business idea through the models, I could just tell it wasn't going to work. No matter which way I ran the models, I always came out the same way, failure. So I taught the Gonzaleses how to run the models. After a couple of days, I got this email. We sat down and worked with the models. No matter what we tried, the business just wouldn't work. The more we looked at it, the worse it got. Chris, you saved us from losing our retirement money. Now that's an actual email from an actual couple with an actual business idea. I showed them how to run the models, and they played for a couple of days and tried every which way to make it work and just couldn't do it. Now they had worked on this idea for over a year before they brought it to me, and it only took 2 days for them to come to the conclusion that it just wouldn't work out. Now let's look at Jim. Jim's a friend of mine, and he wanted to buy a very busy restaurant. The place is virtually a landmark, and it's busy all the time. The price, including the building, was $450,000. Sounds like a steal, right? I mean, if you've shopped around for business, you know any business that's operating and functional and includes the property for $450,000 is a pretty good deal. I asked Jim to get some documents for me to review. Now, the seller supplied some, but refused to supply most of the stuff I asked for. What does that mean? Red flag. When sellers refuse to let a qualified buyer see all of the details, that's a problem. After a little investigation on my part, we found out that yes, the restaurant was indeed busy all the time. It was also losing money. And as I dug further, a more serious problem came up. The employees were very unhappy with their pay. Now I say that's a more serious problem because a business that's losing money can always be turned around. But when you have a serious morale issue, that's like an iceberg. A morale issue at a business is just the tip of the iceberg of the problems below. That usually means unhappy suppliers, lots of problems. Maintenance isn't being done. There's a number of issues that come with bad morale. When the employees aren't happy with their pay and generally disgruntled about the work, you know you're going to take a major expense increase as soon as you take over the business just to keep the people happy. Now, if the business is already losing money, how are you going to do that? So I told Jim to pass on this deal. That's a recipe for bankruptcy. And sure enough, Jim passed on the deal. 3 months later, the restaurant folded. Now let's talk about Amy. I'd like to give you some positive news because I don't talk everybody out of starting their business. Amy wanted to open a medical billing practice. She knew the ropes. She had a certificate. She had done some coursework in the medical billing professional and she was certified in that field. She had some experience at a well-known medical billing company as well, and she'd also saved up some money. She had $15,000 and she wanted me to help her raise another $50,000 to launch the business. Green light. That's a go. I don't know why that's changing. That was pretty funny. I didn't know that when I put that there that it would change. Anyway, green light. Amy had all the right ingredients to be successful. We ran the models and tuned Amy's plan. And then we helped Amy rethink her plan. I told her if she started small and built the business through a year of hard work, she wouldn't need to borrow any money. She could do it with the $15,000 she had with no extra capital. That strategy worked, and it saved Amy $50,000 of debt and possibly an unpleasant partner. Today she has 36 employees and is very successful, and we've become good friends. Known Amy for many years. Now, what about you? You must have a business idea or have a business in mind to buy, or you wouldn't be watching this. But you know, 80% of new businesses fail. Everybody knows that. Within the first 5 years, 80% fail. Why? Well, starting a business has very little to do with passion. And that's all you hear these days. Follow your passion. But that's people want to suck you into a problem. Passion has very little to do with success. Of course, you need the passion to sustain the energy that it takes, but passion alone isn't going to get you there. Passion is a red flag. When people call me and say, well, they have a passion for selling homemade soap or cookies or the family's secret barbecue sauce, a red flag goes up. You know, if you want to succeed in business, you have to have a plan. A lot of people who have followed their passion have followed it right into bankruptcy. I want you to succeed. I love business, and I love to work with people who have the energy and the smarts to do it. But I recommend before you dive into a business that you talk to someone other than a friend or a relative before you get too deep with your business idea. And the reason is friends and relatives will always tell you that your idea is good. Oh, you'll make it. Man, you make the best cookies in the world. Oh, you'll do it. You can really cook. I can see you in the restaurant business. I mean, I can cook, and people have told me that 1,000 times. I would hate to be in a restaurant business. I couldn't stand the hours. So don't listen to the friends and relatives. Don't follow your passion. Follow your brain. I'd like to help you start out with the best possible chance of success. I have the experience to do that. Plus, I can save you a lot of money in your startup costs. I've negotiated rents for people that were half of what they were going to pay. So talk to me before you get involved in your business idea. So if you're starting a business or considering purchasing a business, let's talk. The first conversation is always on me. After that, you can buy an hour, or you can set up a contract, or you can say 5 hours a week. You can structure it however you want to do it. I am probably the only startup consultant in the universe that will let you buy an hour of time anytime you want. They all want contracts. They all want to get in your pocket. That's not me. I have very, very low rates, and I'll let you go an hour at a time. Just talk to me. My goal is to see you succeed and save money. And by the way, having fun in the process is mandatory. If you can't have fun, I know you won't make it. So we've got to have fun working together. And if you have fun, you get the formula right at the beginning and do the proper planning, you'll be successful. I look forward to talking with you. Thank you.